You gonna get in the camera? Good morning, beloveds. Um, you're not reading the date wrong. My plan is I'm gonna do yesterday's today, or this morning, and then to later in the afternoon, my husband's gonna go run an errand, and so when he leaves to run the errand, I'm gonna do today's. So that should be around 2:30. So if you're interested in today's reading, that'll be at 2:30 this afternoon. And then hopefully I won't interfere with David, and I will have caught up. Do you like my fancy reading glasses? I got permission to buy them yesterday from the doctor, but I'm only allowed to no more than half an hour chunks. So, which means once I get this read, I'm going to take them back off. Okay, so I'm doing September 15th, Abundance is Mine. The first quote is, "Let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of its servant." And that is Psalm 35:27. And then the second quote is, "God is spirit. Spirit is substance, and substance is supply. This is the keynote to the realization of a more abundant life." And that is The Science of Mind, page 262. Abundance can be defined as having enough of whatever one needs to do whatever one chooses, regardless if desires are comparatively great or modest. We have the ability to call forth the necessary supply. Abundance is our conscious recognition of this ability, and supply is the tool for crafting our ideas into form. If we choose greater supply, will we also accept greater ideas to be built with it? What would we do with unlimited resources? How would we use our time? What would we think about if we did not have to worry about money? Some might say, well, I'd know that if I had the money. But abundance follows a path in mind. We call up an idea first, and then life rushes to fulfill it. Every idea brings with it the necessary components to make it real. People had the desire to communicate, so they invented language, then writing, then printing, then telegraph, then computers, and beyond. Each filled a greater need than the last. Seeing supply as just a practical result of creativity can eliminate our need to stew over something that has never been further away than the next idea. Today, I take my divine inheritance, knowing abundance to be the natural vehicle of expression universally available to all. I accept it, use it, circulate it, build with it, all with the feeling of ease and contentment. And that is JJ. That is our Jesse Jennings. And I'm going to put those back on in just a minute because I'm going to think about what he said. Life rushes to fulfill it. Raymond Charles Barker said, "Abundance is the ability to do what you want when you want it," which is effectively what Jesse said in here. It's just a little less wordy, because that's one of the things that I noticed about Raymond is he uses like the simplest language possible, but it was also a beginner's book, so which I found really fascinating. Every now and again, it's good to go back and read the beginning stuff, the early stuff, the simple stuff, because I think our tendency, and he kind of touched on it in here, is to overcomplicate things. We overthink things, we overcomplicate things. Things could be so much easier than we make them out to be. And what Jesse is saying is like, look, have the idea, and then spirit and life will rush to fulfill it. So if you haven't had the idea yet, it's okay. The idea may be on its way. There's a poem, and I never remember if it's Hafiz or Rumi, about joy has been rushing through the streets looking for you since it first heard your name. And that's kind of the way life is. And it's a similar thing with abundance. It's like abundance is searching for you. What it is waiting for and all of life is waiting for is for you to acknowledge it. And that's one of the reasons why, because people start to talk about abundance and they start to talk about prosperity and they get really narrow focused on money. It's all about money, but it's not. Money is a tiny, tiny, tiny portion of abundance and of prosperity. What abundance and prosperity have to do with is the richness of your life. And so that includes the richness of your relationships. That includes the richness of your art. That includes the richness of your rest time. What you do with yourself. You know, all of the time, not just when you are making money. Because I'm in that awkward situation right now of there's not a whole lot I can do because I'm healing. And so it's like I'm wandering around in my house going, well, I could do this. No, that would require bending over, which I'm not allowed to do. I'm not allowed to put any pressure on the eye. And so it's like, I don't know what to do with myself. So I have an abundance of time and not a lot to do with it because I'm just like, I have to rest and heal. So I take naps. That's a good thing. But life will fill it in. Like when we went to Walmart. Now, knowing that the only thing I'm going to be able to do for about a week, really, because I can spend short periods of time on the computer, short periods of time on the cell phone, short periods of time with these, which means I can't read. Yet, we're getting there. He's thinking I might heal well enough to read without the reading glasses. So I happened to be in Walmart and I found a whole season of a TV show that I didn't even know was out. And fortunately, since it's Scooby-Doo, it's big fat lines and it's comfortable, so it's easy to watch. It doesn't strain my brain or my eyes. And then now today, I have a guilty pleasure, and it's straight up a guilty pleasure. I love the TV show Ancient Aliens, and I love it for two reasons. One of the reasons that I love it is simply because they show you amazing things around the world. They take you places and show you things that you're like, well, I didn't even know that existed. And then partly for the Bunkers Theater. Well, it looks like it's going to be on all day today. Am I going to watch it? Probably not, but I'm going to watch a little bit of it. So life will find a way. What we have to do is be open to what it is that life can bring to us. And that's what abundance is. Abundance is a consciousness. So when we are ready to stretch out, and I've talked about this before, I've talked about how big is your cup of acceptance, because life will fill your cup of acceptance to the level of your cup. We'll get a bigger cup. How do you do that? Expand out your definition. That's one of the reasons why I like when I talk about Emma and, look for the good and praise it. Start with the little things, because the little things are easy to find. And what you'll find is they gradually add up to these amazing big goods that we weren't aware of in our life. And gratitude has that power. So when we're working on abundance and we're working on increasing our cup of acceptance, then we start with the little things and gradually everything kind of stretches out. And so, hang on. I want to go back to that really cool idea that he had. And this is where, okay. How should we use our time? That's why I was talking about what I'm doing with myself right now. Okay, so he says, how should we use our time? But what would we think about if we didn't have to worry about money? And honestly, that is one of the reasons why Science of Mind is involved in social justice, is because when people have enough to eat and when people have when people are safe, when they have the basic needs met, they have enough to eat, they have a safe place to sleep, and they have enough to meet their needs, then we can do amazing things. We can do amazing things. And so that is a large part of what abundance is. And that's why Science of Mind is involved in social justice. We want to make sure that everybody has our basic needs met, because then think about what we can do. And that's what he's talking about. Because frequently people will say, well, I'd know if I had the money. But abundance follows a path in mind. We call it the idea first, and life rushes to fill it. So, every idea brings with it necessary components to make it real. And there was a writer within the last couple of them, I feel like, who said, God gives you the idea. Spirit gives you the idea. Whatever the idea is, Spirit gives you the idea. And then we'll provide the necessary things to bring the idea into the material world. But we have to cooperate. We are called co-creators, but co-creation requires cooperation. It means we have to plug in and be willing. And that's why we have to ask, because asking shows our willingness to do. And then we have to be open. And that's where it can get us, being open. It's like, are we open to this working? Are we open to the infinite varieties? Are we open to something that doesn't look like what we thought we wanted? Because when we're open to what we didn't, if we're open to the infinite possibilities, Spirit will bring us amazing things. And I wish I could give you an example right now, and I'm just blanking on it. But that's okay. If I give you an example, then you get stuck on my example. So I'm going to leave that to you to figure out your own example of a time that you were open to the possibilities. And it went a completely different direction than you expected, and yet you still got what you wanted. Yeah. I remember when I was looking at colleges, I had already been accepted to and attended the community college that was in the town that I went to high school in. You know, I'd already taken several classes there. And then I applied to a school that was 90 miles away, a school that was 400 miles away, and a school that was 900 miles away. Any of which. And I remember when I was getting ready to decide where I wanted to go, the dream that I had. And in one dream, or what I was looking at two paths. And if I went down one path, I could see the cars on the highway, and the other path went into the forest, and I couldn't see where it was going. And that's in the dream. That's the one I chose. And so I took the mid path. I went to the school that was 400 miles away. Would I have ever expected to have landed here doing this? No. But here I am. Because I said yes. And I said yes, and then was open to the possibilities. I accepted a program going into engineering, and ended up with a degree in anthropology. I accepted a program thinking that I was going to get a master's in archaeology, and ended up living in Houston. And when I made the decision to move to Houston, I rattled around Houston for a couple of years, and then I found Science of Mind. I'd never heard of Science of Mind, and yet here I am. I'm now a minister in Science of Mind. And that's the way abundance happens. That's the way life happens. When we're willing to be open to the possibilities, things happen. I have amazing friends. I have met amazing teachers, and here we are doing, this. I had a large part to play in getting Reverend Jesse Jennings online so that everybody across the world can enjoy him. He's now teaching classes by Zoom because I chose to take a path. Would he eventually ended up? Yeah. Would I have been the one to do it? No, but somebody else would have. But because I took that path and said yes to life and was open to the possibilities, I get to be the one who said, hey, I had a part in this. So, and that is abundance. That is abundance. I have helped to increase the richness in the world by being open to the possibilities. So, I put the glasses down. I love the school marm look now. Okay. Where is it? I was trying to think. Okay. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to take our divine inheritance, knowing that abundance is the natural vehicle of expression. Okay? So, knowing that abundance is the natural vehicle of expression, life will fill in the gaps. If we are open, life will fill it in. I like to use the hose metaphor because we're constantly kinking our own hose. Take your foot off. Take your foot off the hose. Let life fill in the gaps and see what happens. It can be amazing. Sometimes I look back at my life and wonder, how the heck did I end up here? And sometimes I look back at my life and go, how in the heck did I end up here? And it's really cool. So, all right. You got your mission. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever it looks like, big, small, doesn't matter. Point is to do it. Point is to enjoy your life, to self-care, okay? Right now, since I'm healing from the eye surgery, self-care is super important, and I'm trying to be really good about it. I'm probably, so much to do. And here I am, self-caring. But it's important. But I'm also making a point to enjoy this time. Like, I'm reveling in the fact that I get to watch Scooby-Doo for hours on end. Because I need to rest and not strain my eyes and my brain. And I'm giving my body a break too. Because, I'm kind of a go, go, go. And right now my body is going, nope, sit. So make it a point every day to do that loving, kind, compassionate thing for yourself. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. You are a beloved child of God. Practice on yourself. Create that bank so that there are going to be times like right now where I'm a little frustrated because, I can't go. So that habit that I've gotten into of self-care, it's paying off. But it also means that when I meet other people who need a little extra, I have enough to share. Practice on yourself. And make it a point to really enjoy life sometimes. I want you to do it every day. I think you should enjoy life. I think life is meant to be enjoyed. But we got to make a regular habit of doing that. Okay. So, first response. Okay. Self-care, kindness, love, compassion. It's who we are. It is what we were built for. For love, for kindness, for compassion. So let's go back to our default nature. With each other and ourselves. Remember, you will never look in the eyes of someone God does not love, and that includes when you look in the mirror. Okay. I will encourage you to do all the things that I usually do, which is to do something to engage your mind and your body. Drink plenty of water, super important, especially if you are on the self-care kick. Drinking plenty of water is very, very, very important. It helps with the healing process. And then get that early in your day, bright light. I've turned my alarm off for the last couple of days, and I'm still up at 7:30 this morning. I was like, I gotta go do, I don't know what I'm doing, but and then open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. Because it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. And one of our superpowers, I've been on this kick lately, superpowers, is happiness is an inside out job. When we do our spiritual practice and connect with the source of our own being, we put ourselves in that state of heaven, in that state of consciousness, that state of mind. And when we do that regularly, then we come back filled with it, and it flows out of us because it flows through us. we're not making it to keep. We're connecting to the source so it can flow through us, so that it creates the heaven around us. And it honestly is this amazing superpower. Try it. You can create heaven around yourself anytime. And that, opening the windows of our soul, that's about that spiritual practice. Connect with the source of your own being, whatever you call it. God, spirit, Atman, she, whatever you call it. Okay. I might call it the great purr, because there's nothing like that sound in the world. All right. Yeah. A lot of the times I would say I'm moving into the process of my own day. Well, yeah, my day is what it is. So I'll remind you about the social medias: Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the ones that I am on. I will remind you about the email, the constant contact, because the hot links are hot. That is info@creativelife.org. I will remind you that I'm going to do today, which is the 16th, a little bit later in the afternoon, but I'll make sure I do it early enough that I don't conflict with David, because he should be on around 5. He's in Europe right now and still doing this on time. I can't even imagine what time it is. I wonder if he's telling us. I should check in on one of his live streams. We do watch each other's live streams occasionally. So I'm curious to know if he's telling us what time it is where he's doing it for us. And that's the amazing thing about, when David and I committed to doing this, we don't let a whole lot get in our way. Him being in Europe, me having eye surgery twice. We'll figure it out, because we love doing it. This is our spiritual practice. So I hope that you have found a spiritual practice that fulfills you enough in a way that you want to do it every day. And if you haven't yet, keep looking. Spiritual practice is not a one-size-fits-all. It is an individual thing, and you can tailor it the way to a way that fits in your life, makes sense for your life, and makes your life better. Makes it, because your life is good. I bet if you look around, you'll see your life is good. Spiritual practice just enhances that. All right. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, an amazing day, an enchanting day. I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. Day, because we should have those occasionally. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are also a divine channel through which your good flows into the world, and ironically, through which others' good can flow into this world. You never know when you're going to be the answer to someone's prayer. And you may never know that you were the answer to someone's prayer. But trust me, frequently you are. And that's amazing. All right, beloveds. So, like I said, I'm going to do another one around 2:30. That will catch me up from having Wednesday off for my eye surgery. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you, and then I will be back with you caught up at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to go to the park. It's this whole thing of self-care and resting and, going to the park. Because if you watch any of these on Friday, you know how much I love going to the park. So, it may be a go to the park and do one loop and just, yay! All right. Take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. And I will see you next time.